I will be making a tank. But before we start making it, I have to explain something. So, me and my friends on Steam, we have this game where we make vehicles and we fight and we have our own borders as like countries and stuff. And so we recently just started this, and I'm gonna be making my first tank of it for you guys. Anyways, I gotta make sure it's better than both my friends. Currently there's only two people or two of my friends in the game, but right now we gotta start making a tank. Luckily for me, I can use golem tracks because we also have resources in our like maps and stuff. So there's campaigns, and each campaign or some of the campaigns have you require collecting certain resources to make certain blocks and be able to continue on the campaign. So right now I control a whole lot of tungsten, a whole lot of titanium, I think a little bit of rubber. So, but golem tracks are made, or what we pretend to have them made by. We pretend to have them made by titanium, so I can cut off their supply of titanium if I wanted to. Of course, I'm not going to do that because that will spark war, and I am definitely not strong enough to win. But anyways, did I make this odd? I did. Alright. So, now that we got a seat down and basic parameters of how big our tank is going to be, we should probably put in some engines. A few of these should be fine. We don't want to put in too many, though, because if they destroy my tracks and they're able to hit the engines could explode and destroy my seat, which is very bad. Excuse me. Alright. Now we got some steering down. And driving. So right now it goes pretty fast, but it's not going to be nowhere near this fast as I continue building it. Next to build is armor. And there's actually three main blocks that I use as armor. First is the heavyweight block. This is really good as armor, and I don't fully understand the code why, I just know that it works well and I build with it. So we're going to place like an inner layering here to hopefully protect the inside of our tank. Most of this front right here is probably just going to be disposable, so it's probably just going to be a bunch of armor blocks and panels. But the next block that I like to use for armoring is pipe blocks. And surprisingly, pipe blocks actually do have a decent amount of armor, as tested. I've made so many of these tanks with so many different kinds of armor, it is unreal. But I know what works and what doesn't. And pipe blocks, heavyweight blocks, and the third one is anchor pins, in which they all work really well as armor blocks. Anchor pins have a lot of HP as is than the heavyweight blocks. I'm not fully understanding, or I don't fully know the code of how these work, but they work. Simple as that. Now, this tank's probably going to have more pipe blocks than heavyweight blocks, at least volume-wise, because I need this thing to be lighter. I plan on making this either a medium or a light tank. Alright, now that we basically got, like, a basic tank design, this should work just fine for right now. I don't know why I'm so pingy, either. I don't know. I'm sure I'll fix my... Okay, maybe it's not that I'm pingy. I forgot to set the tire pressure of this on 5. Whoops. I increased the tire pressure all the way, because it's just most effective for me. My tanks are on average like 3,000 kilograms, So. Now, everything is technically allowed. So, I could, like... I gotta think of some way to be better than them. But... I don't know. I'll think of it, though. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna start shaping up this outside, though, a bit. Okay, I have gotten the basic shape of this down. Now, my idea is to kind of do what the Germans did with the Panzer IV in World War II, and that's to have panels, like, sticking out the sides of it. So we're probably going to have some panels sticking out on the front right here. Some panels on the side, on both sides, actually. I don't need the back. But on the side of the turret's also going to be nice. But this will just help give us extra armoring. And then I can also, with these spaces in between the pipes, I can put even more shields. Whoops. Sorry, my throat's been a little bit sore today. Alright. I'd say we got some basic defenses down. Yet again, everything, like, almost everything is legal. I say almost because, of course, flat cannons aren't legal. Energy shields on tanks is a no-go. On planes and helicopters and stuff, though, it's fine. But that's another video or another day for me, whatever it is. Okay. I don't know what I'm really looking for here. I guess I could use hinges as armor. I don't know, though. Like, I gotta protect my turret ring, my seat, my engines. That's about it. Oh, and my tracks, because otherwise I won't be able to move. Extra layering, it helps. It may be very little, but it'll at least give us some protection. Actually, I could probably just test it. Oh, I don't know why my game is so laggy. I don't know. I'm sorry, but anyways, here's one of my older tanks. It's mid. Definitely not the best. This was for when I was going against a super gun. Anyways, so as you see, we fire right there. So that was with 2 tiny tank cannons, yes. And that side armor worked beautifully. It almost protected my track entirely. There is some minor damage, but it's definitely better than if we were to just hit the track. What is wrong with my internet? Okay, now if we do it with just the normal tracks and we fire. About the same damage. The inside looks a lot different, though. The inside lining on the left side is, like, completely gone. You can see it all in here. So I guess that siding did help, because it protected the inside. Anyways, now we just copy and paste this over to the other side. There we go. I'm going to place on my turret ring, or my aiming servo somewhere really quick so we can determine where my turret's going to be. Sure, right in the center of the tank. There we go. Now the reason I have it on 0.5 speeds is because I think that's plenty for a tank turret. It just needs to turn. It just needs to turn at a decent rate. That doesn't annoy me. Having the speed at 1 actually does annoy me because it becomes too fast, and a lot of time I put armor in my turrets and stuff. It just becomes a huge mess. Now we're covering up all the key components. I'm probably gonna put some armor blocks like right in front, right here, because when I'm taking shots, that's normally what gets hit. It's good to have armor in general. Man, I'll just fill that in with some regular blocks. Alright, now here's a tip / trick you can do for if you make tanks yourself in Trailmakers. If you piston glitch your turret on, like so. Oops. Hang on, give me a moment. If you piston glitch it and you have anchor pins on the other two spots of the aiming circle, it'll actually stick. It will stick your turret better to the turret ring. So this can be helpful for if the pistons get destroyed, which is pretty frequent if you piston glitch your turrets a lot. So, like, I can explain it with this right here. Like, the anchor pin sticks into the block and it keeps it in place. So. But makes it better to turn. I swear the turret turn rate's not actually that slow. I think it's just because I'm screen recording right now. Alright. Now it's time to start working on the turret. So I'll see you when I'm done. Okay, I think I got the turret shape pretty much down. So it aims up 40 degrees and aims down 5 degrees because all my tanks are like Russian tanks. They have no gun depression. Anyways, here's what I'm going to end up doing now. And I've seen a little bit of the other nation's tanks, and one of them has 4 cannons inside the barrel. So I got to try and at least have cannons that can match up to that, because that's going to be quite powerful. Let's see. My thinking is maybe we can put a normal tank cannon on the end for aesthetic and function. Where is it? I'm in the wrong tab. Anyways, you have one of these on the end of the barrel. Why does that look good like that? That makes no sense. Anyways, we have this on like the end of the barrel. Then we have a just a standard sort of, I guess large cannon. We use large cannons a lot because we can piston glitch them. So I might end up piston glitching 2 of these together. And then I think that will conclude it for the barrel. I think that should be powerful enough to penetrate armor. Well, I'll see you when the barrel's done. Random's gonna say this looks like, I don't know. I think he's just gonna say it looks like a block on top of another block. That's what he normally says about Churro or one other name. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to blur those names out. Anyways. Front panels. Front panels are good to help with protecting this back part, and also to protect my tracks from frontal attacks as well. Because it's pretty vulnerable right here, especially knowing that these fenders, are just for looks. They have no armor whatsoever. But definitely some armor on the side of the turret will help. Right. Alright, and then we got the side panel on. Then I think after this, it will just be painting, and then it will be done. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure it's just up for painting, in which I will not make you guys watch, because that's very tedious and annoying. Alright, I'm pretty sure I've finished the barrel. I still have no idea why my game is really laggy, but I'll figure that out here. Anyways, it's got 3 cannons, so hopefully that should be able to pack a punch. I could probably put some more side panels on the side of the turret. And maybe in the front, too. Alright. Random's gonna say this looks like... I don't know. I think he's just gonna say it looks like a block on top of another block. That's what he normally says about Churro, or one other name. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna have to blur those names out. Anyways. Front panels. Front panels are good to help with protecting this back part, and also to protect my tracks from frontal attacks as well, because it's pretty vulnerable right here, especially knowing that these things, these fenders, are just for looks. They have no armor whatsoever. But definitely some armor on the side of the turret will help. Right. Alright, and then we got the side panel on. Then I think after this, it will just be painting, and then it will be done. Yeah, now I'm pretty sure it's just up for painting, in which I will not make you guys watch, because that's very tedious and annoying. Alright guys, so I'm done painting. Also, I realized while I was painting, I didn't have a machine gun, and machine guns are actually kind of helpful, because once all your main cannons are gone, you can use that. But I had one, and it's done. So I painted it a green with, I painted it like a dark green with a lighter green, with a camo, because a lot of land is grassy. Also, since I play on lower graphics, I have somewhat of an advantage, because I don't see any grass. My grass doesn't load in on purpose, but the other nations do. So I can hide there if I wanted to. I mean, they're still going to see my turret, but the only reason I know that, and the only reason I actually knew this game had grass, because I've always played on low graphics, was because of them. So hopefully the camo helps a bit, I guess. I had to put my emblem on the sides, because that's required. I'm pretty sure that's required. Actually, I'm not sure if it is. I have it on the sides, because my tank. So, this is the first Scornian tank. I probably should have mentioned the name of my nation earlier. I didn't. Anyways, first Scornian tank for this game. Hopefully we can win some victories. Alright, well anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.